Hello, everyone. Ti Dave here. I'm back with Kris, and she gave her testimony about a year ago about what was going on, and I'm gonna have her tell a little bit about that. But I'm gonna put the link in the comments to her in the comments, not the description, because ever since I've been demonetized, they've been um saying I get a strike if I put links in the description. I don't know. Anyway, so I'm going to put the link to her first interview in the comments so you can catch up, and then I'm going to have her give her a little brief of what went on, what was going on back then, and then tell me what's been going on since the past year. Because and so if you want to see her first interview, it'll be in the comments. So, Kris, thanks for being brave enough to come out and talk about what's going on. These are horrible atrocities being committed against innocent civilians. Um, and so I was just going to ask you, like, to give like just a real brief summary of what you went through, since people can go to the first interview in the comments, and then tell what's been going on in the past year since you've done your first interview, like how
O-
things have worsened or gotten better, stuff you've been utilizing to help you.
okay. Well, I'm 68 years old now, and or am I? Maybe I'm 67. No, I'm 67. I'm 67, and in 2019, I was living in Montana, and I had owned a house there for 33 years. And I had worked in a profession, my job for 31 or 32 years in as a seafood quality control advisor, and I worked out of Alaska and in Russia. And in 2017, my mother died, and I had these neighbors that lived next door to me, and they had moved back from Nevada, and they moved onto their property into an uninhabitable trailer. So they squatted on their land, which was illegal. But anyway, while my mother, when she died, I had a 72-year-old neighbor come over to feed our animals. I was married at the time. And as she came across the easement, this mother daughter physically attacked the 72-year-old woman and told her that the mother actually told the daughter to go get the gun and shoot her because she said she was on her property, which was not true. And anyway, the mother actually strangled the neighbor and was trying to throw her off the easement so she could have the daughter shoot her. And this led in, it was all recorded, and it was all captured on video and on phone. And the mother literally was telling the daughter to shoot her with a loaded gun.
A
Anyway,
72-year-old woman?
yeah. And she had never even, they had never even known her, never had seen her. And they were trying to, yeah, they were trying to hurt her. This took 2 years to go in through the courts. And when they went into court, they pretty much gave the mother and daughter a free pass. And nobody could understand it. So the daughter really only got 1 month in jail and some probation, and the mother only got probation. And when the daughter was in jail, I lived on a reservation there. And I think while she was in jail, that she was recruited by the criminals. And so after the 2 years and she got out of jail, it was May of 2019. And that's when all my problems started after she got out of jail. And
Now,
so,
is that because you took up for the 72-year-old? Okay,
yeah, I was going to court when I was in town. I would stand up for her.
right.
And so it was actually the wrong place at the wrong time, and it was a hate revenge, I think, against me. These people are truly sociopathic, narcissistic, the most dangerous kind. And they can lie like that. They can make a story up. I mean, it's so scary. So that's when my life changed, was in 2019. And I just started noticing just some weird things going on at my house. My eyes would start to water for no reason. I would still get feeling anxious. I just couldn't understand why these things. Then I started getting these headaches on the back of my head, and I don't ever really get headaches, so I wasn't really sure what was really going on. So then what happened was I was married for 19 years, and um we ended up getting a divorce because I don't know what happened, but things went crazy, and so now I'm single and I'm living at my house, and I would be coming home. I never left my door unlocked ever. I don't care if it was for 1 minute. And I was noticing things were misplaced in my house. There was different things were different places, and there was shading there. They could do some sort of weird shading to make things darker and lighter in different places in my house, and they kind of had evil faces in them. I was looking at this stuff and I'm like, what is going on here? And then I'd come home, my door would be unlocked, and after about the fifth time, my door was open, and I never, ever, left my door open. And so I called the cops, and the cops said I was overthinking it, that I probably just forgot to lock my door, and that's not true. Well, anyway, so long story short, that's when the things really started happening. I had damage on my property. There was rock formations that was formed into symbols that was out on my property. I could see where people were building a fire, like doing satanic rituals, actually. And there'd be, evidence of fire. I was seeing flashes of light going across my big windows at night, and I would call the cops, and the cops would never ever go over with me to the neighbors, and I would see people on the property. This just continued on, and finally I went and stayed with my friend. It was down the road a little ways, and I went and stayed in her guest cabin, and then the same thing started happening there. All these rock noises against the house, and sounded like noises on top of the roof. I could see lasers coming in through the windows, and you could see the change. I could literally watch the change of the paint and everything go from darker to lighter, or lighter to darker. And I took videos of it and was showing people. You could see it, what was going on. I couldn't understand what that was. But anyway, my house kept getting broke into. My car was damaged. It was constantly broke into. I noticed people started following me in all these different colored cars, and silver, red, and black, and anything that was always of the same group of color. And they were always around me. I was finding dead birds in my driveway. All my trees, big, beautiful pine trees, started dying, and the tops of them would be dead, and the bark would be coming off. And it was just constantly something. And anytime that I tried to get help from anybody with planning and zoning, or their probation officer, or the policeman, nobody. I look back on it now, and it was all rigged way back then. I didn't really know it at the time. I just couldn't understand why nobody was helping me. And then they slapped me with a felony, because they said that I poured salt on their 70 lilac hedge. They don't even have a lilac tree. And they said I killed their whole hedge. So without any notice, the police came to my door and told me that he's going to have to give me a citation for a felony because of this. And I was like, what are you talking about? There's cameras all over. They had cameras everywhere. Um, anyway, I had to spend $5,000 just to say that I didn't kill their lilac hedges. $5,000, just like,
Wow.
and no lawyer would even hire me. I had to beg a lawyer to even hire me so I could hire him. And so all these things started adding up. And then, you know, no, even down at my girlfriend's house where I was staying, I mean, nobody was, nobody would believe what I was saying because only this was happening to me. And so nobody really believed it. I never even knew what a targeted individual was. I had had many friends. I had the best job, the best career, had a great life. And all of a sudden, things just changed like that after all these years. And I tried to explain to the cops, hey, we've all been neighbors up here for 30 some years. There's never been a problem until these people moved back. And they would not help me. Then some of my other neighbors, the neighbor that got attacked, she ended up selling her house because she started having things happen to her. And the person that bought her house, they started having things happen to them. And then things were happening to their pets. They had 2 dogs. And then something was going on with the dogs all the time. And so anyway, that's how it all started. And the cops never did anything. I was the guilty one after all, for years of living up there. So then what happened was I started feeling these electrical impulses all over my body and it would hurt. I don't like electricity. And I would feel them all over my body. Then my eyes started really, I could tell that my eyes are starting to go not be so good. And I started getting like these floaters in my eyes. And I don't know, it was just one thing after another. And so I worked out of Russia. And when I would go to Russia, I would be gone for, like 4 months at a time. And when I was working over there, I saw drones and I saw something with the lights. The lights were always getting bigger and brighter, and I was still getting radiation burns on my body, on my face, big welts all over my face. They would strike me with these weapons, and it got so bad after 3 times of going up there out to Russia that I lost my job. So the best job that I've ever had that I truly loved, I was 62 years old when I lost my job and I was devastated. And I was able to, I was able to collect Social Security, but I wasn't ready to not work. So some of the symptoms that I had, while like my feet still buzz, but I have a buzzing in my feet, which is on and off. And it's been doing that for about 5 years, I guess, on and off, on and off. And that thing still is happening, but I would get these prickly feelings all over my skin. I would get like I couldn't swallow. It'd be like I would have GERD and I couldn't swallow. And to me, I thought that was, I don't know. It was like when you can't swallow, it's kind of a really weird feeling. I guess Holly might know. But I mean and I would get instant nauseous. I would be laying on the couch and all my limbs would just start jerking involuntary. And I would get, I couldn't sleep. I never could sleep. It was like I was up all night long and I would be getting attacked all night long. And they go after my eyes big time. So I've got some major problems going on with my eyes still. I get my head, my whole body was heating up. like from the inside out. It would just be so hot, and I would have to put, cold towels on and wrap my head. And now, mind you, this whole time, I still don't even know what's going on. I don't know what a targeted individual is. I don't know what gang stalking is. I'm just out there by myself on this solo journey because everybody started thinking that I was crazy. And so finally, I was doing an Airbnb on my house because I couldn't stay there. And I was staying, when I would come back, I would stay with my dad, which was like 45 minutes away. And then last time, I think I showed you where I got the laser burn on my eye. And, I have a lot more pictures that of what they've done. But anyway, so they thought that I was doing this to myself, my dad, and they said, "Oh, you've had a, psychotic break and you need help and you need to go to the hospital." So they take me to the hospital, and I think I'm going to go talk to a counselor. No, no, they put me right down in the nut ward, and I walk in there and I was like, "Where am I?" And they said, "Well, you probably need to stay here for 3 days and you get observed." And I said, "Nope, no way." I said, if I'm getting out of here, and if I don't get out of here, you're never going to talk to me again." I was seriously upset. They thought I was going to commit suicide. They wanted my gun. I said, "No, I would never, ever do anything. I've never, ever, even ever had any mental problems. I've never been sick in my life. I've always been healthy." And all these things started happening. And so finally, what I had to do in 2019, I guess it was, uh, I sold my house, or 2020, I can't remember, but I had to get away from these people because that was just one thing after another after another. And and so I sold my house. I moved to Salmon, Idaho, and this was my birthplace, and this is where the rest of my family is. So I thought after I got here that things would be different because I didn't want to do too much research. I didn't want to react because I thought if I didn't, it would go away. And so I just kept taking the torture, but I kept just living this stupid, you know, life that nothing was going on, hoping that it would all go away. And it only got worse. So I moved here to Salmon. I've been here now 4 years, or yeah, I guess 4 or 5 years. I don't remember now, 4 years. And so after I got here, then that's after a couple of years, I finally decided I've got to get going on this and find out what is happening. My health was deteriorated. I went to see every kind of doctor for my hands, for my feet, for my gut, for my head. I've had MRIs. Been to the eye specialist like 6 times down in Salt Lake at the Moran Eye Institute to try to get this eye thing figured out. I've come to find out the doctors down there in Salt Lake were in on this, and they were. I saw the immediate change from the first time I went there to the last time, and they were cold, not helpful, not really wanting to treat me. I mean, you could tell a huge difference. It was so confusing, and I still didn't get how deep the program was yet. I didn't know it was in with the doctors and the hospitals and the mental health ward. And so all this time, I'm thinking I'm getting help, but it's just a sick program. Then,
Yeah.
it was terrible.
Holly, a lot of the stuff you mentioned reminds me of Holly's targeting. And what's weird is the trees, Holly's trees died. Holly's trees, when her targeting first started and they were hitting her, didn't you say your trees died too?
Yeah, a lot of my trees died. Yeah, they ruined a lot of the yard, was burnt.
Yeah, with burns. That's what
Right.
happened. And I had a beautiful, huge yard up at my house. And there, when I was married, he was in the lawn care business, and he always had it like beautiful green, and then all of a sudden there would be spots that are just burnt up, and he was always trying to fix them, and I was like, why is this happening, you know? I
Uh,
mean, but I'm going to tell you something about the burning and the trees. It doesn't matter where I go. Even here, I have a big shrub that's out back, and they can actually burn. They've burned the shrub to where it's dead in a spot, and everything else on the shrub is beautiful and green. And when you go out to look at it at night, it shows an evil face where the burn is of
wow.
of the shrubs. And I see it in the trees. I see it in these trees. They can make the trees. I've seen this, how they can make them grow so tall. And if you look at a side angle, there's faces in the sides of the trees. So I can see them, how they, because I know what these faces look like. And
Right.
I see him in the clouds. It's the same faces. I see like these same projected faces in the clouds. And I've showed people, I've taken pictures of them. Some people can see them, some people can't. But some people have seen it because it's almost like 3D that the way they make these clouds. I don't know if you guys have ever looked at the clouds, but I can see the same faces that are in the same trees and the shrubs, and I even see them on my walls. And in the texture inside my apartment, it has a slight texture to it on the walls, and you can see where they've have some kind of weapon to smooth it out so it's not as textured in some places. And I started noticing it when I looked on a side view, and I was like, God, why does that look different over there? And it was like, oh, then you look at it and the texture was not even the same. And then I have a black light, and I got this black light out one night, and I was going around all my walls because I see it everywhere. And it was lighting up with the black light with these faces in the walls with the black light.
Wow.
It's insane. I was trying to video it with my phone with the black light, and I can't capture it with my phone for some
So
reason.
they done that early on to you blatantly, didn't they? Like they
Yeah.
sensitized you to that, right?
Well, they have sensitized it.
Because what I'm saying is once they sensitize you to something, they'll really, really push it on you to try to freak you out.
They have done just about every single thing that you can imagine. And, but, I didn't even know I was being gang stalked after I moved to Idaho. I didn't even know what gang stalking was. I knew I was being followed, but I didn't really pay attention to it in Montana. So when I got here, I wasn't sensitized yet. And it took them 2 years to follow me around. And then that one day I left my house, and boom, in every corner there was people, cars, this, that, on every alley, on every crosswalk, on everything. So they came at me so hard, so fast on that day. And I thought my life was in danger. I called my brother up and said, I think somebody's trying to kill me. I go, Stacy, you got to come down here. He lives like an hour away. And he came down, and he goes, Kris, what are you seeing? I go, all these people are around, and this isn't normal. These are back streets. These are out on the highway. It shouldn't be like this. And they sensitized me just that fast. And since that's happened, you see everything.
Yeah.
You have to see, you get to see everything after that. And that's true. And so anyway, now, so now I'm in Idaho. Now I'm sensitized to the gang stalking. My life is not normal. I try to make it normal, but I can't. And then so I've spent that, they really bother my teeth. Now, since I've been here, I've spent almost $40,000 on my teeth.
Hmm.
$40,000 with implants, with this, have to get a new crown, and you have to have surgery because the skin grows up over too much. It's always something. And I'm just like, okay, I've just had enough of all of this. I just told my dentist the last time, I said, listen, you've just raped me for $40,000 over the last few years. You can give me this free crown, because I was just so sick of it. So anyway, in the meantime, I'm thinking that, I don't have any friends. I'm from here. I was friends with my neighbors. I grew up with her. All these people that I know in town that I've been known for my whole life, all of a sudden everybody started distancing themselves and acting more strange. My family started acting strange. Nobody wanted to know about how I was doing. Nobody wanted to talk about it. Nobody wanted to do anything. It was just like, mom's the word. And I just started thinking, what is happening, And so come to find out, now that I really know the program, how it's really run, it's definitely with the government, the fusion centers, all the 3-letter agencies, they spend a lot of money on me, a lot. I mean, because you cannot believe it. And so now I don't really have anybody to go to because I don't have any friends. I used to have tons and tons of friends. And I used to travel a lot. I used to, do lots of really fun things. And they got me almost to a point to where I just felt like I almost didn't want to go out. And then all of a sudden I had a change of attitude and I started getting stronger within myself. And it's like, no, I'm not the criminal. You people are the criminals. And you're trying to make me feel and intimidate me and put pressure on me to ruin my life. And so I finally started getting a new attitude. And then I started getting the courage to venture out. Now, the few friends that I still do deal with, they are still perps, but they only, they don't really follow me and stuff. They mimic my body language. So this is what goes on now. All of the body language that I do, like the way I adjust my baseball cap or run my hand through my hair, or if I'm sitting there reading a book or something like this. And, all of these things, all of these friends or few friends and my family started imitating exactly what I was doing. And so I go up to my brothers. This is so out of character for them. I've known them for years. They start rubbing their nose and they'll sit there like this and they'll sit there like this and talk to me where you can't even see their mouth. And the way that I rub my eye, and all of a sudden all these people are mimicking me. I'm driving down this Main Street, and all the people are doing the same thing. They're all doing the same thing, all the same body language and the body movements. And I'm looking at all these people and I'm thinking, oh my God, I cannot even believe, because it's not normal. They have little kids, even from 3 years old on up into high school, doing it. They're tainting the minds of these children to be a gang stalker. And then what now I'm seeing is my television. So anytime I turn my television on, it doesn't matter what program. I only watch YouTube on YouTube. And the people are doing the same thing. As soon as I turn it on, then the actor in the movie all of a sudden goes like this and then goes like this. And on the television, they're doing
Yeah,
this.
it's a psychological strategy used to make you feel like unease and question your sanity.
And I think
From my research, that's why they do the mimicry to constantly make you feel unease.
yeah. I mean, it's unbelievable to the degree that they do this at. I mean, every time I have to go out into the store, the post office, everybody's doing it. And like that's supposed to be normal, and I'm the crazy one. And so, oh yeah, see, all these people are doing it, but I question it. and I'm the crazy one, you know?
Right.
And I've had conversations with my family. Even yesterday, I had a big fight with my sister, you know, because I said, why is it just with me that you do this? And I can't hear what you're saying, and I can't understand. I need to see your mouth moving. And she went ballistic on me yesterday. And I was like, nope, I'm not taking that this time. That's your MO every single time. And I was like, you know what? Everybody has decisions that they make and choices to make. And I said, someday everybody has to meet their judgment. And I said, I'm not going to go for this action anymore. You know what's going on, and you're trying to make me the bad guy. Not doing it.
Yeah,
So
gaslight you.
they're gaslighting me all the time. So now just to go out with a few friends, I mean, I don't even go out hardly ever. I never go to a bar. I never barely ever go out to a restaurant. If I go to their house, they do the same thing. And I just overlook it because I just still remember Kathy O'Brien, you know, in one of her podcasts, she just says, you have to give these people love and send, these are your family. You still love them. You still have to have compassion for them. These people are mind controlled. And she said that, you know, you have to look past that. So I've worked on that a lot. And so I do. I don't make new friends, but I'm telling you, I can now go out more in public. I just went to a concert in Boise, and everybody was doing the same thing, but I just looked past it all. Like, I don't know how I do it, but you have to do it. But I can tell you that every law enforcement, every county, city, state employee is involved. Every merchant is involved. All of the churches are involved here, including the Amish. And the Amish are one of the biggest. And
Wow.
it's unbelievable. So now where I'm at, so now I'm here, and now I understand what's going on. And so now I'm trying to keep my strength within myself. I'm trying to keep exercising and being, at least go out and get in the sunshine. And if nothing else, I've learned to go sit out in my grass for 15 minutes a day to go into earthing, and it brings down your inflammation in your body with the earth's natural frequency compared to what yours is. It brings it back down to normal. So anybody can just do 15 minutes to put their feet in the earth, it's really helped. I can tell you that. And it's hard to believe, but
I've heard several people say that. Yeah.
yeah,
And I admire your strength of overcoming and getting out. And I'm hoping I can get there one day.
I hope you can, David, because you know, being stuck inside, that's just a terrible thing. I mean, try to find something that can calm you down before you go out, you know. I mean, I
Right.
don't know if it's some kind of, even a,
I go out with Holly sometimes, like we'll go pick some food up and then I'll come back. So I'm working on it.
well, good.
Yeah.
That's great. I'm gonna say now, this is from where the last interview ended, in a year ago. Besides, you know, the defamation of character, everybody looks at you. And some people are so nice to your face, and then they're just sitting there with their phone. You know, I don't know how they all do it. I don't know how everybody communicates. Do you? I don't know how the gang stalkers communicate for sure.
Now I've
They
heard,
have a phone, and they all have a phone, and I can't be near anybody, even my family. Oh, I got to get my phone. I'll be sitting at the kitchen table. Oh, got to go over and get the phone, and they'll lay the phone and they'll put it, you know, where the lens is facing out, and they have to have the phone right next to them all the time. So there's something with the phone. I don't know what it does. I don't know if they record you. I don't know. I don't know. I think that would be so illegal to record your conversation and tell, you know, I mean, I don't know, but as soon as you go, then there's a little ding on their phone. I can, anytime I go to somebody's house, immediately there's a ding on their phone. And then when I'm getting ready to leave, I hear a ding on the phone, and they're they type just one or two words and then put the phone back down. So I think they communicate somehow, oh, leaving or next person, or I don't know how it works, but
Right. I've heard they use phones, but I've also heard they use synthetic telepathy, V2K, to communicate with each other as well. Not all of them, but some of them. Some of your main ones, the top, yeah. So they're communicating through synthetic telepathy, and there's other ways. Holly even said that she saw her handler, witness her handler pull a metal piece out of his ear.
Yes, correct.
what was
Yeah.
it?
You want to tell them?
It was a communication device with V2K.
And I'm talking about pulled it out and it was bleeding.
Yeah, his ear was bleeding. He could read my mind real time with this
Um,
technology. Yeah, it was crazy. But he did have an earpiece. That's how they communicated. So I don't know the whole ins and outs of it, but it was pretty horrific.
How do you know that's your handler?
They sent my handler in back in 2017, 2018. He came in as a honeypot and he turned out to be my handler. He let me know he was my handler. He worked for the CIA. Um,
Oh,
yeah, he was affiliated with federal agencies. Unfortunately, he could call and get a new ID at any moment. I mean, it didn't matter. But anyways, he could read my mind real time with this technology, and it was really horrible.
and that still happens?
I don't know. I got away from him as soon as I possibly could, and then I was homeless for a while. So I got away from him and have not spoken to him in a couple of years.
Wow. Yeah, I had a honey pot. I had actually one was 1.5 years or so, but then after that they sent somebody to me, and I didn't know what a honey pot was then. But
Yeah, I didn't either. I had no idea what a honeypot was. I had no idea he was sent in to me. Um, to go. Yeah, I thought he was there to help me. I was hoping for some, I thought, oh, this person's here to help me. He seems to know everything that's going on and makes reference to it. And, I thought, oh, he's here to help me. I must have been in the wrong place at the wrong time. I have no idea why this is happening, but he's here to help me. I was convinced. So he basically ruined my life.
Yeah. So behind the scenes, while he was, I don't, I'm not gonna tell that, but she could if she want. Like behind the scenes, he's playing all good to her, and then he's destroying her relationship with her mother and all kinds of stuff.
Oh yeah, he destroyed my relationships. Every targeted individual has a handler. Every
yeah.
single target individual has one person who handles all the gang stalking, all the directed energy weapons. He took care of all of it. Every time he was on the phone with a group of people, I thought it was people from his AA meeting. It wasn't. It was the gang stalkers. So I mean, I was just completely fooled. And
Wow.
if you're not careful when you're a TI, they will send that person in as a honeypot and you won't even know. You'll think, oh, they're here to help me.
And the whole time they're orchestrating stuff
And
to
you're,
set you off, gaslighting you, doing stuff to trigger you.
Yeah, remember that book I sent you, The
Oh
Chosen?
yeah, we have it. We haven't
Did you
finished it
get
yet because
did you
man, we've got so many books we're trying to read, but
I
we're
know.
about halfway through it. We got it right here.
I've only got like, I don't know, 70 pages left to read of it myself, but
Boy.
the boy, wait till you get a little further in it. It is wild. And
Yeah, thank you for
then you
sending
do
it.
the comparison, and I look back and I'm like, God, this is so sick.
Oh, I want to mention something real quick too. Somebody contacted uh Kris. Here's what they did. They sent I got a screenshot. I'm just going to share. And so anybody in the comments or something, if you get contacted and somebody acts like, well, I've worked with this person before, can you give me their contact information? And you know other TIs, don't give information out because I've seen this person put this information under not only a comment to me, but a comment under people under her interview to people who commented, hoping somebody would know her, and they just acted like I'm not gonna read the. I've known Kris since 2008. I worked with her. Could you please give me her contact information? I really miss her. Thank you in advance. She does not even know who this person is. So yeah, if anybody contacts you in the comments and acts like they know, don't give no information out. It's just not the right thing to do. And in this case, it really wasn't. I contacted Kris immediately, and she says she don't even know who this person is.
Yeah. I mean, they go to all lengths. It's scary,
Yeah,
and hopefully all other people don't give out that information,
right,
you know, because they'll do anything that they want,
right. Well,
you
getting
know.
back on track. So
So,
you're back
so,
into after you did the interview.
so now what happened, I think that was July of 24 when I gave my interview. And after that, I'm going to touch on something which really was kind of a mind blower. I was in a situation where I was around many targeted individuals, and I'd never been in this situation before. And I thought, oh my gosh, it's going to be so nice to be around people of like mind and in the same community, and people are going to help people. And when I was there, I found out that all of the TIs that were there they were all gang stalking me. They were all perps. And I my heart just sank for I was like, oh my God, am I seeing this? And then when I left the one area and went to go back to a hotel, I had the people, actually, some of those so-called TIs were following me and followed me and kept track of me, and I would see them everywhere. And so I was delusional, I guess. Maybe I was thinking that everybody out there was there to help you that was a targeted individual. And I found out immediately that that's not the truth. And I was so disheartened. And then I got mad. And I was just like, how can you falsify information and give out all this information and pretend to help people when you're, I think, connected with the mob, I mean, they're just same as a regular gang stalker. And
Right.
I don't know how that works, but that's when I started going down a different path. That was I guess August or September a year ago. And I it just really blew my mind is what I mean.
Yeah, listen to this. I captured this, and I'm not going to mention this person's name, but a lot of TIs look up to this person, and uh, I don't want to mention names. I'm just going to leave that out. But this person shared this person. Please search Matthew Roberts for. She posted this. She or he. I don't know who this is. Free Spirit, but anyway, please search Matthew Roberts and I'll tell you who it is when we get off, for extremely vital info regarding dangerous networks using Neuralink technology tied to NGOs for specific purpose of targeting and trafficking children, veterans, and homeless. And tag this person in this post. And this person said, stop listening to V2K. Starlink is not used to traffic anyone. It's the CIA criminals misleading you. And this dude, I'm interviewing him, and I'm trying. Well, I have to edit some of the stuff, so I have his interview and part of it, and I'm doing it in section. The dude that she's trying to get people to listen to, and first of all, this person didn't even mention Starlink or V2K.
Oh
And
my.
that's gat. Stop listening to V2K. So this person, I'm not listening to V2K. I'm talking about a concerned patriot parent that did 5 years of extensive research in uncovering a dangerous predator network that's using AI to expressly stalk, profile, and target veterans, experiment on homeless, and on all that. And so, so she or he was trying to share this extremely vital info and got called stop listening to V2K. Starlink is not used to traffic anyone. It's the CIA criminals misleading you. And you're going to be surprised when you hear who it is.
Yeah.
Well, no, you're not going to be surprised by what you just said, but anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
so it's a lot of deception.
it's so much deception and to great length. to deceive people. I mean, great length. And so when I started going down a different path, that's when I ran across you. Like you were I somehow ran across you with your interviewing. And I mean, then I started really watching all the interviews and seeing, sometimes I wonder if all of them are real. Sometimes
Right.
I don't know. But I know that when I was on your one of your videos with Onion Head Andrew, and so I just felt like there was such a connection when you had him on your platform, that he was just out there trying to help people to,
Yeah.
you can tell that he has such compassion to get the truth out and to talk to the people and let the people tell their stories and how to shield yourself. And that's also led me to be able to communicate with him also. I also communicate with him now with email and by phone a couple times. But I was so grateful I'm just so grateful that you do what you do, David, because
And
you
I give
know,
all credit to God, the Most High God.
I think you have to, because I think God is leading you, and because every person has to suffer even more to be able to stand up and be a voice for what's right. And so then you get punished even more, and you have to take that torture a little bit harder. And so to be able to do that, kudos to
Yeah,
you.
people think it's easy, and like I have responsibilities around here, a lot of responsibilities, and I just don't talk about it. But and then I spent 2 hours and 44 minutes talking to two different TIs yesterday. Uh, um, and that's okay. And I think I helped stop a possible unaliving, and that's good, and that's what it's for. Um, so it helps me to help others, and it helps Holly to help others, and we do the best we can. Somebody's going to talk down and have something negative to say because they don't understand that sometimes, a lot of times, we don't have time to talk, but when we try to make time, when we do, like
Yeah.
yesterday, what I'm saying is I have responsibilities to get done around here and help out around here. And so if I don't get back with you immediately, as I will get back with you. So what I do
Yeah.
is I usually wait till I have valuable time to spend on the phone before I get back with you. I'm not gonna call just to say I got to go in 10 minutes. I'm
Right.
gonna call when I have enough time to let you vent, talk about stuff, stuff like that. But
Now,
Onion Head Andrew is
Is
really
Holly still working?
huh?
Is Holly still working?
Yes. By the
Yeah.
grace of God, she's hanging in there.
Ah, dang.
And she's been it's a struggle. But she's a warrior. Like, yeah, you might, well, 2 years ago around Christmas time, there was a whole month where like all this stuff psychologically and stuff was too much. And she kind of disassociated for like a month straight. I mean, she would stay in the bathroom or the bedroom, and just sit there crying. And I just had to sit with her all day crying and try to, like, she wasn't even herself. So she pulled
Mhm.
herself through it and came through and learned how to, like you're doing, you know what I'm saying? Fight through this, ignore it. And she's
Yeah.
made a lot of progress.
Yeah, now I just ignore it. Now, I don't pay any attention to any gang stalking, any gaslighting. They are not there to me. So, since I've done that, it has backed off tremendously. So one thing that you can try is to completely ignore them and act like they don't exist. And that really helped me out
Because
tremendously.
when I say a month of dissociation, I'm talking about so bad she missed work. She wasn't even, it wasn't even Holly no more.
I don't
Like she had
even,
lost it.
yeah, I don't even remember that.
And I
Yeah.
just comforted
That's
her. I
right.
comforted her, spent all day in bed with her, sometimes just laying there holding her, trying to talk her and be nice and be careful what I said, because sensitization. But she pulled out of it, and it's been really, she's really made
And
a
now you're
100%
stronger than
progress.
before.
Yeah.
Amen.
I got
Amen.
tired of being sick and tired.
Yeah. Yep. Good for you, Holly.
I mean, I
That,
thought it was over. I thought I'd lost her. And then she was
jeez.
even going to go to a mental hospital, was on her way. And I said, Holly, I really think you would have more support here than going in a mental hospital and they just give you meds and then not even check on you, not even talk to you. And that's what we did. She came here and she had support here and just calm because she thought I was reading her mind and stuff like that because of trauma from what she went through before she got with me. So she would
Yeah.
test me out to see if I was reading her mind and all that. So we went through a lot of struggles the first couple of years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now can you look back and see how it all was and how they
Yeah,
all
I got, yeah,
manipulated?
hindsight. Yeah,
Yeah,
I can see everything for what it was. Once I came out of that and got past all the trauma in the past, I could see everything clearly. It took a while
yeah,
for sure. As far as my handler goes, if you're listening, um, God will take care of your future. Um, I'm not going to wish anything bad on him, but I
no.
know that God has the last say. So I know that these people will get their due
Yes, they
course.
will.
And we have a prayer list. We pray for these people too.
Yeah. I pray every time I go out. I pray. I send prayers to these people. I say, I pray for you. I don't go out in my car with a negative attitude like, oh, I too ignore them. But my gang stalking is to the point like it's absolutely seriously ridiculous. I can't even get I just go into the garage and the cars start coming, the planes start flying. Now what they've done to me is like I live on a side street, so it's not so busy, but they would have loud motorcycles and cars and trucks pulling trailers and horse trailers and everybody, this is quiet in here, and I just ignored it all, and it was happening all the time. That's what was new for me. This whole side street just became one big freeway, and I think the people got on here got tired of it because everybody has to listen to it. Everybody has to listen to it. So now what they do is, and I guess they can see me from my TV or whatever. The minute I sleep on my couch, so the minute I open my eyes and I'm ready to get up, a plane will fly over. It's just like that.
Yeah,
And
we have drones that hover above us, our house constantly and follows Holly to work.
Yeah, I have two that follow me to work, one that sits above my job. So,
can you see it?
oh yeah, it's lit up. Yeah, it's so far up into airspace, it has to be lit up because it is in US airspace.
We have pictures of it.
They're huge. They're not a small drone. They're military sized drones.
Oh,
So
yeah, I have them here.
yeah,
You remember
yeah.
that
You can
time?
see them at night clearly because they have to be lit up. They have no choice.
You remember that time you went and visited your mom at the cemetery and that helicopter flew low back and forth until you left?
Yeah, I went to
At
visit
the
my
cemetery,
mother.
she visited her mother. A helicopter stayed the whole time and then left when she left.
Well, I was at the at her at the funeral place and visiting her, and a helicopter, black helicopter, was flying above me. But I was also calling a senator at the same time they were flying above me. I was
Was
on the
that
phone.
Trey Groudy?
I was trying to get in touch with Trey Gowdy, who I love. He's the
Oh,
best.
is that somebody to get a hold of?
Oh, he's awesome. He's no longer a senator, but he was,
No,
and boy, he would grill. He doesn't take any, what, off anybody.
right.
And
Oh,
always loved him. He's now back in South Carolina as an attorney. But yeah, I was trying to contact him in Texas, and anyways, he was no longer there, and another senator picked the phone up, and they were hovering above me, and the phone went dead. So, I tried, but yeah, the planes and the helicopters come out of nowhere.
yeah, just now while we were talking, a plane just flew over because we were talking.
Wow.
Yeah, a plane just flew over
So
just
how's
now.
the weapons been? How weapon attacks been since we last spoke?
Listen to this. So last time when we talked, I was getting hit in the upper left leg all the time. I would be out walking, they would hit right at the crease. And I mean, it would really impair me to not walk and would hurt so bad. Well, and ended up that it got so bad to where I could barely walk. And so I started going to a chiropractor. Then I went in and got ozone treatment, trying to think that that would alleviate the pain. Well, they finally got me in and had a x-rays, and they totally, the weapons had totally took out all of my cartilage on my hip. And so I was bone on bone.
Mm.
And my right hip is just fine. And so I ended up in February. By the time I had my hip, I had to have a whole total hip replacement in February. And
Wow.
it took him over a year to hit that same spot all the time. I documented all the time. And I even told the doctor about it. I've told the surgeon, I've told the chiropractor, I tell every doctor I go to now about what's happening to me. And so yeah, I had by the time I got to go get my hip replacement, I couldn't even walk. I couldn't walk.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
that was in February, and I've recovered completely. I mean, it was like
Amen.
a godsend. I mean, it was the worst pain. But what happened after that? So then they started going after my mid to lower back. I mean, I could, every time I would get up in the morning, the first thing that would happen, they would strike my back, and it sometimes would hurt so bad, you know, like I'd have to put either some cold or heat on it, massage it, try to stretch it out. And it would be either one time or like boom, 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 like these three huge hard hits. And then if I go outside, like I smoke, so I would go outside to smoke, and there's a electric line right there. And as soon as I would get up, they would strike my back. Okay, so that was going on. And now in the last month, they haven't done that. And I don't know why. I can feel it still, like it's not, I mean, I can barely bear. I know something's still going on, but it's no pain or nothing. So, but I can tell when my back's all tight down there, and I know that something's happening. So now they quit hitting me hard, but I know that's still going on, but I still having trouble with my eyes. Even the other day I woke up in the middle of the night and I had felt like a scratch across my whole eye, and I had to put cold pack on it. It takes like 6 to 8 hours for it to go away. It just waters and it hurts.
Yeah, Holly woke up with the same thing. When was it about? She had to go to the doctor and get eye drop, these certain kind of eye drops for it. A scratch on her eye. Right, she woke
Oh,
up with it, didn't you?
Yeah, I woke up with a gash to the cornea. I had to go to the hospital because I had,
oh, really?
yeah, my eye was oozing so badly. It's my only good eye. You know, this causes cataracts. These weapons cause cataracts. It causes floaters, then it causes cataracts. I've already had one surgery on one eye done. Now I need surgery on the other eye. And yeah, it's horrible.
That's terrible. See, I wonder if I should have even gone to the eye doctor, because it was so bad. It hurts
And when
bad.
I first started getting hit with direct energy weapons in 2015, uh I got heated up bad, and I'm not gonna get into it right here, but my for the first 2 months. And there, I wish I was still in contact with people. I didn't even know I was targeted back then, but the V2K and stuff started, and I knew I was getting hit with some kind of weapon, but nobody would believe me. I didn't even know what targeting was. But
Yeah.
for 2 months, I needed glasses. Now I don't need, I mean, they still mess with my vision, but what I'm saying is I couldn't even read or nothing for whatever however severely they hit me. I mean, they burnt my head. It felt like it was boiling. For 2 months, I needed glasses. And I guess they stopped. I guess it healed on its own or whatever because I don't need glasses no more. But that was a weird experience.
I think they can reverse it, actually.
All right.
I really do. I think they can do whatever they want. I really do. I'm
Well,
I will tell you one thing about, well, I don't know if this happens to you, but now this is what's really gone crazy in my house is I don't know what kind of weapon it is, but they can actually use force so hard that it hits inside the refrigerator. It's pop, like pop, like very loud. And they'll hit inside the freezer and the refrigerator. And anytime I put anything in the refrigerator, whether it doesn't matter if it's food that's cold and I put it in the refrigerator, when I go back in to open it up, it might even be 10 minutes later. There's moisture and dew on the inside of it. And if there's like vegetables in a plastic bag, as soon as I put them in there and I go take them out, the whole inside of the bag is completely wet. So they can heat it up so fast that it's making moisture on the inside. And I don't know if they can heat it up with contamination or if it's just to ruin the vegetables. Because if I don't take them out and wrap them in like paper towels, they'll go bad like that. I mean, all my food is messed with, all
Yeah,
of it.
somebody commented that they buy vegetables and the same day or the next day they'll be rotten.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. And then I have I like limes and lemons, and you can watch them. I have them just sitting out on the counter, and you can watch the faces going on. They can make it darker, or they can make a lime. They'll turn it completely into a color of a lemon, literally.
Right.
And then
Wow.
sometimes they'll make faces in the limes or lemons on the where they're ruining it. Then I don't know if I'm supposed to eat. I don't know if it's contaminated. I don't
Right.
know if it's just from shading. I don't know. So a big thing now is I'm not getting hit so hard with the direct energy weapons right now as before. It's still happening. They're ruining my feet, the bones in my feet, because they've killed my arches. So all my arches have fallen. And now I have to wear orthopedic soles. So at some point I'll have to have some kind of surgery on my feet or my toes or something. That's what they've done. That's another place where they hit, probably because I like to go walk. So they
Right.
destroy your feet, right?
Yeah, they don't want you out in nature, which is something you love.
Right. So that's what's been happening. Another thing that's happened is, well, my uncle died, and he was also a perp, but he was 95. But before he died, um, even like 2 years ago and a year ago, he kept telling me, he said, Kris, there's some strange noises going on in my house. I hear it all. He never slept. And then one time he said, I've got this weird feeling in my back and my stomach. Can you please look at it? And I was looking at it, and they had laser burned. He was getting laser burns on his back and stomach. And I took
Mm.
pictures of it. And that was exactly the same kind, exactly the same diameter, everything that I was getting on my body. So they were attacking. So I think my whole family, I have figured out, I think my whole family is targeted. And I think that even though they're perps, it goes 3 layers deep. They're getting targeted. Like, last time my great nephew they killed him at the hospital. Then later my niece became pregnant. Oh, she had a miscarriage after 4 months. I'm pretty sure that was, you know, activated by the weapons to my same niece. All my family's stuff, like something always going on with the car, the refrigerator, the coolers, the air conditioners, the lawnmowers, the battery goes out, this goes out. I hear it all the time from my family. Oh God, you know, I have to go get a new horn because the horn's out. Well, guess what? My sister has the same car as I do, and her horn went out. And 2 months ago, my horn went out. And in order to fix it, it's $400, believe it or not.
Wow.
Yeah, because they have to take it out through the steering. And I still don't have the part. They've ordered it. It's been lost. It hasn't been shipped. We're going to expedite it. They've canceled the ordered from somebody else. I'm still waiting for the part for my horn. It's been a month and a half since they put the first order in.
Wow.
So I can't get the horn fixed because I use it every day because people jump out in front of me. Cars are pulling out in front of me. I'm constantly using my horn. So they
Yeah, you
want
have to be a
you.
defensive driver as the TI.
Yeah, and if I don't have my horn, it has saved me a couple times from wrecks.
Right.
And so they know that I need my horn. All of my mail now is getting tampered with. Now it's even more aggressive. I've had a check or two that's never received. I've never received it.
Mm.
People have had to reissue the check. All my boxes are either a lot opened or slightly torn or ripped open. Things are damaged inside. Always have to send stuff back and have to get another one. So they're doing this now with the mail with me. And
Right. I'm gonna we got about 10 more minutes. I want to ask you real quick. The first question I'm gonna ask you, one more ask both the questions at the same time and sum it up. But uh before you answer the last question, before you answer this question, I got a question before I want you to like the last 10 minutes, like just tell if you have a message to help others, what you've been working on to help you. But before that, I have a buddy I'm in contact with. He's a Navy veteran, and they spray uh, stuff on his yard to kill his roses, to kill his. And I've shared pictures of it on my video on my YouTube, and I'm talking about you can see this red herbicide like stuff. They killed his rose. He had a perfect yard. He's got big brown spots in his yard. His rose bushes are dead because of it. Do you experience any of that?
I don't experience that, but what I do experience is the chemtrails. And the chemtrails usually are really high up in the air, and they'll go back and forth. And it's been bad all summer until about a month ago. But now, when they do, it might be once every week or twice a week. Usually it was every day. I was having trouble breathing and it was just terrible. But now they've got either a drone or something that goes directly right above my house. I'll go outside to smoke and I'll look up and go, oh, and the chemtrail's like right above my house.
Wow.
And it's like, oh my God, how can something be so low and I didn't hear it? So it has to be a drone or something.
Right. Have you ever like when one night when I especially when I started the stun gun EMP from Andrew, uh, Holly was asleep and I wake up and there's a fog throughout this whole house and I'm thinking something's on fire and I look, nothing's on fire. And so I looked outside for fog. There was no fog outside, and Andrew said they're spraying the environment to try to keep us saturated in this stuff.
Yeah.
Have you
Yeah.
ever had anything like that happen, like in your house? Look like it's
No, but
fall
I
in the
have a
house.
friend that did. She lives in
Yeah,
Illinois, and she said it was terrible. She goes, I couldn't figure out what was going on. And she's targeted too. And I think she's been targeted for years, but she said that happened to her like 3 weeks ago. It happened to her.
yeah. Well,
And
could you
that,
share your experiences, like or the last 10 minutes, like tell target individuals what you've been doing to overcome, what you do that helps you, any message you have for hope to any of my viewers?
yeah. So my thing is, don't they try to instill fear into you and intimidation with all the harassment and everything. Remember who you are, and you were born as a light and a shining star, and you should always keep that and rise above anything negative. Don't go for the fear and the intimidation, because we're stronger than that, and this is our God-given right, is to be who we are and to live how we're supposed to live. And so in order to overcome some of that, I've taken out the negative. I don't dwell on the negative. I read positive books. I listen to some of that music that hurts, the different hurts music. I have a chirp that's in my ear. So I try to use frequencies to listen to different music. I get out and walk. Nature is one of the best things that I find that's really good. I just started, we talked about this before, but I just started on Masterpiece Zeolite. And they were talking about, I was listening to a thing on it, and I'll send you the link. but you guys were taking zeolite before, but I quit. And now this one, they say that they've done all the studies. It takes all the floaters out of your eyes within 1 month. And this is called Masterpiece Zeolite.
So it's
And
different than the stuff we had?
this is all liquid, and I'm gonna send you the link, and you guys should look at it.
Okay.
I don't know. It's a heavy metal detox. And that's another thing. I'm sorry. I've had a very extensive blood work just done, and I was like 0 in B12 protein, and my mercury is off the chart. And mercury is very bad. So I'm doing a whole new protocol. I'm eating totally different. I'm trying to do all these detoxes to try to get these levels down and do the eat the right foods. So I think diet is very important in this. Exercise. Also, there's a book, I don't know if you guys know about it, but it's called Tickle Your Amygdala. It's the amygdala is in your brain. It's sits up in here, and that's the one that's responsible for your fight or flight, and it controls that. And if you can control how your amygdala responds to the harassment or any of it, or the fear, you can teach your amygdala to protect you. And it's Tickle Your Amygdala, AMYGDALA. You can get that on Amazon, or you can get Taming Your Amygdala. And this book has helped me a lot. It's really helped me a lot, because it's given me, I don't get all nervous like I used to. I still do really intense breathing exercises, even 10 minutes a day to do some deep, heavy breathing. I've gotten into just being like going and getting your lymph system going, just stand up and shaking your arms and just swinging them back and forth to get everything moving, because you got to get the stuff out of your lymphatic system. And so if you do that for, say, 3 minutes a day, just to get shaken and moving, that I've noticed that has really helped me. And that's just 3 minutes. Now what I'm starting to do is I'm also working out with just 5-pound weights, because they've taken my muscle tone that used to be very strong. So I'm trying to build back my muscle tone now. And I've been doing that. And I just think I still feel like this program will end. I think the funding will, I know it's a deep, deep program, but I think that this program at some point will end. I really do. I think the Tulsi Gabbard, hopefully Trump, I don't know, but Bongino and Kash Patel is a targeted individual himself. And if you read his book about the shadow of the government, he explains it in his book. And I think that they're going through the layers right now. And I think at one point that they really will end this program. I always say we need to shine the light and expose this evil program. I think we need to be a voice. I think that we need to be heard, because this is a very sick and satanic program. Darkness doesn't outshine light. And I just feel that one day our day will truly come. I have this Romans 12:21. It says, "Do not be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good." And I just think that you have to always remember that these people are sick. They're sick, and what they do to you. And just know we vibrate on frequency. And if you're going to go on a low frequency like these people are, they're on a very low frequency. You're going to be at that frequency. So you got to rise above that and be on a higher frequency and vibration. And in order to do that, I think that everybody will come out a winner. So don't give your power to the evil. You stand up for who you are and what's right. And we know what's right.
Right.
So,
Yeah, and before I end this, yeah, this is very important. Do not let this program make you bitter. What they doing is they love negative energy, and they've tried to create this world. They've tried to create a negative energy grid. So when you walk in love, just know acts of kindness, acts of love is fighting back against the system too, because
yeah.
they want to cancel out the love in everybody and have everybody walking around with cold hearts and being bitter. So
Oh,
you
it's
win if
just,
you do acts of kindness when you're suffering.
yep. And you have to believe in God and you have to pray to the Almighty every single day because He's the one that's helping us get through this. I think He's guiding each one of us. And if you don't believe in Him, I think people better start because I've found it to be true, and that there's things that have happened that probably shouldn't have happened that have been in my favor, and I just think it's all with God, you know.
Right.
So
Well, thank
that's
you, Chris, for coming out.
yeah. It's
And
been thank you so much for asking me. It's been a privilege to share my story, and I hope more and more people do come out and tell their story because
right,
it
I admire your strength and your resilience.
yeah. Okay, well, give me a call when you're done.
Okay, I'm gonna
Okay.
stop this.